I've seen it time and time again in my practice. Brilliant minds, sharp as a tack, but when it comes to relationships, they're lost in the woods. INTJs, you are strategic masterminds, natural-born leaders, but let's face it, relationships, that's a whole different battlefield. You see the world like a giant chessboard, always 10 steps ahead, but love doesn't play by the rules. Now, INTJs are known for their analytical minds, their independence, always searching for knowledge and understanding. But these strengths, they can turn into weaknesses in relationships. You see, when you're constantly analyzing every word, every action, second-guessing your partner, it creates distance. And that independence, it can look a lot like pushing people away, building walls instead of bridges. So, how do you navigate this minefield? How do you find love and make it last when you're an NTJ? Well, that's what we're diving into today. We're going to break down those walls, brick by brick, and give you the tools to build strong, lasting relationships. Because everybody deserves love, even the masterminds among us. Let's talk about control, something you INTJs know a lot about. You thrive on structure, on planning, but in relationships, it can be a disaster. You can't control another person's feelings or actions. Overthinking and micromanaging your partner is a pitfall. You analyze every interaction, looking for hidden meanings. But you can't logic your way into understanding someone's heart. Your partner starts to feel suffocated. They might even start to resent you. How do you stop overthinking and start connecting? It starts with awareness. Now let's talk about trust, or maybe more accurately, the lack of it. INTJs, you're not exactly known for your blind faith. You're skeptical by nature, always looking for the catch, the hidden agenda. And while that serves you well in business, in relationships, it can be a deal breaker. You see, trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. It's the bedrock upon which love, intimacy, and commitment are built. But for INTJs, trust doesn't come easily. You've got this internal lie detector test going off all the time, analyzing every word, every gesture, looking for inconsistencies. And when you inevitably find them, because let's face it, nobody's perfect, instead of addressing them directly, you retreat into your minds, building walls of suspicion and doubt. You start to see betrayal around every corner, misinterpreting innocent actions as malicious intent. But here's the thing, when you approach relationships with suspicion, you're bound to find it. You create a self-fulfilling prophecy, pushing away the very people you want to be close to. Chapter 3, The Language of Emotion, Navigating Intimacy and Vulnerability. All right, let's talk about feelings, something you INTJs aren't exactly comfortable with. You'd rather dissect a complex equation than express your emotions. You see feelings as messy, unpredictable, a weakness to be concealed, not celebrated. But here's the thing, emotions are the language of intimacy. They're the bridge that connects you to your partner on a deeper level. And when you shut down emotionally, you build walls that prevent true connection. Many NTJs I've worked with experience what I call performance anxiety when it comes to intimacy. You're afraid of saying the wrong thing, of appearing weak or vulnerable. So you intellectualize your feelings, analyze them to death instead of simply expressing them. This often stems from your inferior function, extroverted sensing, C, which makes you less aware of your physical surroundings and the non-verbal cues of others. You might miss subtle changes in your partner's body language or tone of voice, leading to misunderstandings and miscommunications. So, how do you overcome this emotional hurdle? It starts with accepting that feelings are not the enemy. They're a natural part of the human experience, and they don't make you weak or incapable. Chapter 4, The Power of Letting Go, Embracing Vulnerability and Trust. We've talked about the challenges INTJs face in relationships, the overthinking, the trust issues, the struggle with emotional expression. But now let's talk about solutions, about how to break free from these patterns and create the loving, fulfilling relationships you deserve. It all starts with vulnerability. You see, vulnerability is not weakness. It's the key to unlocking true intimacy. It's about letting your guard down, allowing your partner to see your true self, flaws and all. I know, for an INTJ, vulnerability can feel like walking a tightrope without a net. But here's the thing, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you give your partner permission to do the same. You create a safe space for honesty, for authenticity, for deep, meaningful connection. Start small. Share a fear, a doubt, an insecurity with your partner. Tell them how their actions make you feel, using I statements to avoid blame or judgment. Remember, vulnerability is a two-way street. It's about giving and receiving, about creating a space where both partners feel safe to be their true selves. Chapter 5. Challenging the narrative, overcoming paranoia, and giving the benefit of the doubt. We've talked about vulnerability and trust, but what about those paranoid thoughts that creep in? The ones that tell you your partner is cheating or lying. These thoughts can lead to accusations and arguments, but thoughts are not facts. Just because you think it doesn't make it true. Challenge these thoughts with awareness. Pay attention to thoughts that trigger fear or jealousy. Write them down, examine them closely. What evidence supports these thoughts? Often fears are based on assumptions or insecurities. For example, if your partner doesn't answer your text right away, your mind might jump to conclusions. But what's the reality? Maybe they're in a meeting or driving. Instead of stewing in suspicion, try a different approach. When they're available, calmly express your concern. Outro: Unlocking Love, your journey to relationship success as an INTJ. So there you have it. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the unique challenges INTJs face in relationships to practical strategies for overcoming them. Remember, relationships are a journey, not a destination. There will be bumps in the road, misunderstandings, and moments of doubt. But when you approach relationships with intention, with a willingness to learn and grow, you can create something truly special. Balance your logical mind with empathy, your need for independence with the courage to connect. Build trust incrementally, brick by brick, and don't be afraid to let your guard down and show your true self. If you're an INTJ or love one, drop a comment below with your relationship hack. What's worked for you? Let's create a community of support and share our wisdom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more personality deep dives. And be sure to tune in next week when we explore how INFJs and INTJs can create power couples. It's going to be a good one.